All right, welcome back, everybody. Crazy day in the crypto land, but hey, it's pretty usual for Bitcoin, right? We've pumped all the way to 7,300 and dumped back below 6,800 all in the same day. We're going to look at what we can see moving forward. We'll look at what happened leading up to it so that we can learn from the past, and we'll even look at some altcoins at the end. This is Crypto Rolly, the crypto watch that never stops. Live technical analysis, price predictions, and trading. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. These are my own ideas and opinions on the market. Trade at your own risk. Hit that like, comment, subscribe, tick the bell for notifications. Let's roll. All right. Looking at the market, we can see everything's up slightly in the green, looking good. Tether even down a little bit. Okay. Over 2 billion in real volume on Bitcoin. It was definitely a wild day in price action. All right, crypto fear and greed index was at a 14. We have 4 hours till it's updated. I'd be curious what it's going to look like later. We were creeping up, so we moved up from a 12 to a 14 and then dumped hard. So it just depends, how people are feeling. If we get, more sell-off in the next 4 hours, that fear might go down. And we've been pointing out, though, we've been down in this fearful zone for a while. So could this lead that relief rally? It was looking like it today. It was. And then we got rejected hard. So we'll look at the charts. 40 days till the halving. 40 days till the halving. All right. So let's take a look at it. We'll just start off right from the beginning. If you look at the 4-hour chart, I was taking a look at this. This was the high, the candle body high on the 4-hour chart. And I posted this on Twitter and in my trading group. Trading group, guys, by the way, limited time free offer. If you want to join, the info's down. The link is down in the info, so take a look. Don't want to pass up on this opportunity. But so I said if we close a 4-hour candle above this previous one, which was at 68.15, that I would long. So about a few minutes before the 4-hour close, we were right there. I just went ahead and took a slight gamble. We ended up getting a close, was at 68.18, just above it. And we shot up. We shot up immediately. You can see that on the 1 hour. It just went boom. Okay. And, that was based off of, closing a new candle body high, gave me that confidence in that trade. I didn't expect it to go up so fast. And then we took profits at 7,200, thank God. And then we just rejected hard. And not only did we reject hard with this wick, but we closed back beneath that horizontal line. So we closed above it, but on the next candle closed back beneath. That is kind of a bearish signal to me. We're still hanging out up here, but I did take a short in this region. I have a stop loss, so if this ends up, returning up higher, I will exit at a minimal loss, but, it's worth the risk when you see a wick like that. I mean, generally, that's going to be a pretty bearish wick. I mean, you can see a similar one here, okay? And look at that wick there, okay? Anything can happen in Bitcoin land, but seeing a wick like that, especially on a 4-hour, is what led me to believe that we might go further down. And then on top of that, you can see that the RSI was already pretty high. We didn't quite hit overbought, but pretty much. And the Stokes on the 4-hour are crossing down. So, and then we got a second. We did drop and then bounce up. But you know what? That could have been how we had a breakout retest. Well, we didn't find a support here, and now we are getting rejected back underneath this horizontal. So, and I'm going to look at the same thing on altcoins, but we're pretty much at a critical resistance level, this horizontal here, and the fact that we got above it, launched up, and then rejected right back down doesn't make me too confident. Where were the bulls buying in here? Where were they? The sell volume is just a lot stronger is what this is showing to me. So like I say, we're coming down, and let's take a look at our indicators. Let's do the usual breakdown, okay? So hit that like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Let's close the drawing tool out. Let's take a look here. So you do have support This blue 10 simple on the 4 hours at 66.30, price is at 67.64. So you do have support here, and you have the blue 10 simple, the yellow 21 EMA, so anywhere between 66.30, 65.50, you could get a potential bounce. If you don't find support here, of course we're looking at the lower side of this range. You could probably draw a couple of horizontal lines across if you're interested. We could put one. This would be the bottom side of the range. I would say more like 5850, maybe 5900 could be a reasonable target to come back down here. Now, if you are able to break this, you can start talking about lower, but I'm not going to start talking too much about these lower levels, until we get closer to here. Okay, so you do have that horizontal support there at 5,900-ish, if this doesn't hold up here. But this looks like a nice little support cluster of moving averages on the 4 hour, I would say. And let's take a look at maybe the Ichimoku clouds. On the Ichimoku clouds, so you have support right here, the blue conversion lines at 67.26. So price is 67.30. So if we close a 4 hour beneath that, that could trigger down to 65.72, this pink baseline, and then down to the cloud, which is all the way down here, about 63.84. So you would look at these as the potential support levels on the way back down to the bottom side of the range if we make it that far. Okay. Or we could just find support here and continue our way up. I don't like that wick right there. And the thing is also, when we pumped up, we were, and it wasn't such a bearish red candle yet. It was still a green candle. It looked like, okay, break out and then come back and retest the top side of this, because this was a resistance level. So it's normal to break out and come back and retest it as support. But the fact that we came back down and closed beneath that critical level that I was looking at the beginning of the video is what's making me think more downside. But say we close that 4 hour candle back above 68.15, I might want to exit my short at that point. Okay, so if we do close the 4 hour back above here, I definitely would consider that. Okay, so let's keep going with the indicators. Your middle BB is going to be at 65.18. That would be your support there as well. Okay, and that would line up with the top side of this range. So if this there was resistance in this level, you could retest it as support here around 65.18. But I'm looking at pretty much from this horizontal to this horizontal, so 6,800 down to 5,900. This is pretty much our our range in here. Okay, so we've been bouncing around. It wouldn't be surprising to come back and retest it. Who knows? Let's keep it going with the indicators though. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands on the 12 hour. On the 12 hour, we are in the bullish zone, and your support's around 64.85 middle BB. Your stochastics are looking like they could start to curl over, especially if we get more downside. You could see this come back down, I suppose. And I'm looking at the RSI for anything specific. Not really, but I would, if this starts to break down this way, you kind of have a bit of a rising channel here. I don't see anything specific to say on that matter there, so we'll just keep it moving. Let's look at our Ichimoku clouds. Ichimoku cloud, so it was late last night. I noticed that we broke into the cloud, and I was thinking, okay, the top of the cloud could be a target, and we did hit it. The top of the cloud was a 71.90, depending on the exchange, it was anywhere between 72.30 to 7300. But now, so the bottom of this cloud, if we come back to test it again, the support level is going to be, let's see, it's 65.47, and the same, you have the blue conversion line, pink baseline, in that 6500 region. So maybe 6500, 6550, we could get some support as well. Okay, But, you know, looking at this also, I can kind of see a bit of a rising wedge, possibly. You know, we could maybe draw something like that. All right, so we'll just draw it like that. So you could come down, test it, 6,500. And if it breaks, come back down there, okay? Moving averages. Moving averages, we did close above the 50 EMA on the 12-hour, which would be bullish if we didn't already get rejected from the 100 EMA. So the 100 EMA was at 72.88. So yeah, if this wick wasn't here, I'd say that would be the target, but we already hit that target and rejected from it. Still above the 50 EMA, it's at 66.88. So, you know, that could be support. If you lose that, come down and test yellow 21 EMA and the blue 10 simple 64.71. So by the time it happens, maybe it's 6,500. You see how these things start to line up. And I am, you know, looking at the downside targets, but I would say if you're looking bullish, you know, you want to find support in this region here, and then, you know, you could march your way back to 7,300 if you are bullish. Say we close that 4-hour back above 68.15, like I was saying, and we get some momentum. So you're looking to retest 7,300, especially because that's where the high is. That you would expect, you know, if you're bullish to at least get back up to there, okay? But right now, I'm not feeling that way. Let's go to the daily. And again, here's the daily. If we had closed this daily without this wick, I would be bullish. We closed, you know, this candle above the yellow 21 EMA, and we open and close this candle here. That would typically be bullish, and you know, we hit the target. You know, I said that earlier today too. That's how I was thinking, you know, 7,100, 7,300 was because the daily 50 EMA was here at 7,300. We already hit the target though, you know. So we'll have to see. Your support levels at 6,600 on the yellow 21 EMA. Bollinger Bands, you're still in the bullish zone. Your middle BB is showing at 61.90. So this is a little closer to the bottom side of that range. Ichimoku Clouds, you hit your target up here as well, the pink baseline. And looking like a rising wedge as well on the daily. So if it breaks down, they usually break bearish. And I guess, you know, we can say your support on the Ichimoku cloud is 58.62 would be this baseline here. Now the Stokes are still coming down. They're not, you know, sharp down, kind of gliding to the side, probably waiting on Bitcoin's next move. If we dump, this will come this way. If we bounce here, it can snake back up and, you know, continue onwards. So yeah, that's that, guys. I mean, I hope that I explained, you know, my situation. So I guess sorry guys, it's only been 13 minutes. We'll look at the weekly and then the altcoins at the end, okay? So tagging that resistance again on the weekly, you can see you had 71.90 was the Ichimoku cloud conversion line. Your stochastics on the weekly still coming down, so the momentum on the weekly still downwards. And you're still putting in, you know, lower highs and lower lows on the RSI, so you're still in a downtrend on the RSI here. And the Bollinger Bands, we did bounce. You know, if we continue to rise, say we beat 7,300, your middle BB resistance is at 78.20. 78.20. Okay, that lines up with. Let's see. Where is it? Let me see which one I wanted to, because I know 78.20. Okay, 78.50. This is 7,800. So, you know, people have been looking at this as a possible retest area. So, yeah, the middle BB on the weekly is right in this region here, which would make sense. You know, we could hit 7,800. Got to get past 7,300 first, right? All right, and let's look at our moving averages. The moving averages, you know, you tag that 50 EMA. So we broke down, we came up, tagged this is 100 EMA on the weekly at 7,300. So you can see on multiple time frames, you have 7,300, you know, lining up. So that's why, you know, we tagged it. And as of now, we got rejected from it. So do we continue back downwards to retest our pink 200 simple? Sorry, I'm on the Coinbase Pro. Just to point this out while we're here, you see this is Coinbase Pro, okay? And they don't have as much price action here. And I just want to show you the difference in the 200 EMA, 200 SMA on Coinbase, or BitMEX compared to the Bitstamp. So that's why when I'm looking at larger time frame indicators, I go to Bitstamp. So you can see the pink 200 simple is here at 5,600, or sorry, it says 5596. So yeah, 5,600, and the green one is here. You can see this, right? Okay. Now we go over to the Bitstamp chart. Let's go to the Bitstamp, and they're different. Okay. You can see, especially back here, they're starting to get closer together, but you can see how they were way different back here. Go to the Coinbase one more time. Okay. You see how there's that difference? So when I'm looking at the weekly moving averages, I like to stick to Bitstamp, okay? Just a tidbit of information if you were curious. So yeah, if we get rejected from here and then, look for a retest back down, your 200 EMA is this light green at 58.83. Like I said, the bottom of that range was around 58.50, 5900, and your pink 200 simple at 55.60, okay? As long as we're living above these here, I don't want to talk about this so much. However, we lose this region here, yes, we can start looking at, retesting the lows, okay? Just one level at a time. And we looked at that. All right, so that's good. It's been 16 minutes. Let's look at some altcoins real quick and then get back to our trading. Get back to my group, my VIP. All right. Everyone's VIP today. All right. What am I doing? Okay. We're going to the altcoins. Man, wild prices. Oh, yesterday, guys. So I did the video in the morning, and I think we were down here, and I had drawn that that falling wedge pattern. Okay, remember in the video, if you were watching yesterday, if you were in the group, you saw me call this. So we had this kind of drawn out here, and I was looking, even down at the 1 hour, and I think I was down on the 15-minute, and I saw that we were breaking this wedge. And the second we closed the 15-minute, I closed out all of my shorts. I was saying I'm going to wait and see. I had a short from here. I was like, I'm going to see how far this goes down. I'm just going to hold this one. But I don't know. When I saw that, I was like, I can't pass up. It was a 40% ROE on 10x leverage, so I couldn't pass that up. And then we just blasted up. So that pattern definitely broke bullish, okay? But yeah, that was my signal to get out of my shorts, was right there. All right, so going over to Link. We'll start with Link while we're here, okay? So Link, and so Bitcoin has been more bullish during this relief rally. We have seen, if you go over to the Bitcoin dominance chart, we have seen that Bitcoin was outperforming altcoins in general, right? Of course, there could be a couple altcoins that do better, but in general, the Bitcoin dominance has been rising. Okay, so that means Bitcoin has outperformed. And if you look at Bitcoin, how it's had this type of a rally, upwards. If you look at like Ethereum and some of the other altcoins, they look like they're more sideways, and Bitcoin was a little more on a rise. So if we go back to Link, you can see that, yeah, we're stuck in this little sideways channel right here, and you're just banging up against this resistance. So if you look maybe at a 4 hour, look, okay, so I had this resistance line drawn before this pump here, and I guess I was using the daily chart. Excuse me, guys. I found this resistance line using the daily chart, and we had it drawn from here there. So yeah, support, resistance, and then excuse me, resistance again. I'm fine, guys. I don't have the virus. I shouldn't be laughing. All right, so but look, so you got that 4-hour close above that horizontal, and you popped up on Link, but we're back beneath it, like Bitcoin, and you have a rising wedge right here as well. So if this breaks down, you're probably going to come back down to this horizontal here on Link is around $2.03, and then you have down here the next horizontal I've drawn is $1.75. So basically you have this channel, and the way this is looking, it wouldn't be a surprise to come back down again. Otherwise, if you do break above bullish, and if Bitcoin breaks bullish, they all break bullish. Your next resistance on here is $2.62. Let's look at the moving averages. On the moving averages, your 200 EMA is going to be $2.66. That brings me to a point I forgot. So if you're still watching, I did want to make this point about Bitcoin on the 4-hour, the 200 EMA. So when we pumped up above, I wanted us to close above the green 200 EMA. I wanted to close above the pink 200 simple. We haven't done that. We haven't been above it since way over here. Once you get above it, it can typically be, midterm bullish. Obviously getting above it on, the weekly, daily, 12, those are higher time frames. But the 4-hour above the 200 EMA or 200 simple would be the first step into something more bullish. Okay, so we didn't get that close, and we are hanging out beneath it. So I was talking about 78.15, but this could act as critical resistance. So getting a 4-hour close above one of these might be a safer way to go about it. Okay, so because living underneath it is bearish, getting back above it is a pretty bullish indicator. Okay, so I forgot to mention that earlier. I'll just look at Ethereum and Tezos real quick. Okay, so on the 4-hour, looking at Ethereum, your 200 EMA is up here at $155.99. So 156. We're at 140. So that's a pretty nice target if you can get some bullish momentum. And you do have nice support here. This 100 EMAs at 138.80. Only $2 beneath. We're at 140.90, something like that. But throw on your drawing tools. Okay, and we're at this resistance right here, and this has been drawn before today as well. Let's see how I got that. Okay, yesterday I drew what looked like a bear flag on Ethereum. So you have a pull, flag, pull down potentially, and we had this drawn, and we did close the daily back beneath it. These things line up. Is you just draw lines and check on them down the road. It's crazy how it happens. So yeah, I had drawn this yesterday, and then we just closed right beneath it. So you're at resistance on Ethereum as well. Okay, you're in this little channel here still. You want to close back above that, especially maybe on a daily for a full confirmation. Tezos looking a little bit weaker than some of the others. Also looks a bit like a bull or bear flag. Or is it an ascending triangle? I don't know. You could say this is a horizontal resistance and possibly, a rising trend line. You could be looking at a potential ascending triangle. You would need to, close a daily above this horizontal. This horizontal resistance is at $1.76. So, if you do close that daily above this horizontal, that could be the signal going up if this is an ascending triangle pattern, possibly. Or let's go to the 4-hour. Or I'm just trying to think that maybe it's also like a symmetrical triangle. If it was a symmetrical triangle, that would be more like a, bear flag, pull down, flag, pull down. Okay, and then going back to the daily to look at these horizontals where I got them from, you can see that you had resistance, resistance, and now resistance again, and you had support here, bounced off of it here. So this would be the range. If you break down, I would say you come back down to $1.19, $1.20. We're at $1.67. All right. So 24 minutes, 25 minutes, pretty good. Hit that like one more time if you haven't. If you want to see anything in any of the videos, comment anything for me, let me know. And this has been Crypto Rolly. Stay safe trading. Where's the price at now? 67.57. All right. So it's always, it's always a gamble. I don't want to say gamble, but sometimes it kind of is. It's about risk management, bankroll management. Poker players do pretty well in crypto because they know how to manage their bankroll. You don't go all in on every pot. You wait for the good pot. And even then, you shouldn't go all in. Okay, guys? Anyways, I'll see you next time. Have a good night.